Okay, welcome everybody to our first annual of 2021 team webinar. So I first just want to, since this recording is going to be sent to those who couldn't make it tonight, I want to introduce myself. I'm Candace Bowman. I have been with Team Beachbody for over 5.5 years now. Team Beachbody has actually been around. They're celebrating, I think, their 12th anniversary this year. Beachbody itself has been around over 20, but Team Beachbody around 12 years. When I started, it's evolved immensely. When I started, it was like DVDs, DVD challenge packs. Shakeology was like a baby. It was like a newer thing. And same with 21 Day Fix and them really honing in on like the nutrition part of wellness. So they've come a long way and they have just tipped the iceberg. It's the #1 top fitness company. Our products are unique in the sense that because they are nothing artificial, everything is, even though it's not labeled organic, they use organic ingredients. Giving it the label would make it more expensive to the consumer, and they don't want to do that. Highest quality ingredients. They go through like a 12-step process in formulating Shakeology. Darren O'Lean is even on Netflix now on a show. For anybody that follows Zac Efron too, they do a show together on Netflix, and he's super passionate about finding rare, very dense, nutritious foods to put in our products. So with that said, our performance line has been endorsed by Ironman. They're currently not using it, but they were using it, which is super big because Ironman actually has different rules against and policies against what's it called? Lord, I'm having a brain fart. Doping, like giving yourself an edge in the competition kind of a thing. But because of how good our ingredients are, they endorsed it and they used it and they approved it. So that's like a huge thing in the competitive athletic world. But that is one reason why I felt comfortable joining this company. So I have always supported friends who did Avon and Origami Owl and things like that. So they've always asked me to join them, right? And this is before really social media was big. They would do the house parties and I'd always be invited to be a rep. And I never wanted to sell anything. I was like, I'm just not a salesperson. I don't know how to sell things. That's not my, like, I will support the crap out of you. I will spend hundreds on Origami Owl that I'm not even going to wear, like, because you're my friend. But I don't want to have to I'm pretty introverted. I'm what they call an outgoing introvert. So when I go to social settings, I'm very talkative. I can do things like this. I was a teacher. So like that aspect, I have that outgoing quality, but I'm introverted. I like being home. I rather just sit at home than have like girls' nights every week. Not that I don't want to see my girls. I love all my girls, but it takes a lot of energy to do social things with me. So I love all of our corporate trainings and things like that. And when I go on our success trips and stuff, I love it. It's fun, but it just takes all the energy out of me. When I get home, I'm like exhausted for an entire week. Like it's just like a mental thing. So I just could never do those house party things and sell things because I didn't want that social interaction. I was like, I'm introverted. I'm just not going to be good at it. So about how old is Arya? She's 9. So about 10 years ago when I was pregnant with Arya, I knew I was in a bad relationship, but for the sake of my child, I tried to make it work. Because of that, it took me years to do anything for myself. Arya was going on 4. She was about to turn 4 when finally I had had enough. I was going to the gym. Nothing was sticking because I was a single mom at that point. I was finalizing my divorce. I was teaching. I was in grad school. I was overworked, underpaid, exhausted, mentally drained. I wasn't enjoying life. I just felt paycheck to paycheck. I was living with my parents because I couldn't even, as a teacher, afford housing for me and Arya alone and all the bills. Um, it just was a very low point. And because I felt like I was at my rock bottom, I had seen my upline make a post about working from home, and her daughter was Arya's age, and I was watching her work out with her kid, and I was like, I'm just going to inquire. So I sent an email, and she said she didn't even really tell me much of anything. She just said, well, if you share your journey on social media, you'll have this account, you can sign people up. I'm like, okay, like I just wanted more for the fitness, right? I got into coaching because I'm like, okay, if I can sign like my mom and I can sign some friends and family, like that have been trying to help me go to the gym and work out and stuff, like go to Zumba and go to these different classes that I couldn't do consistently because I was broke. My mom was my financial giver, just so that I could have a gym membership and go to classes and things like that. So I was just like, I needed something at home that I could do consistently and try to get results with. And I was drinking pop and stopping at McDonald's before work every day. So I was like, I don't know what the Shakeology stuff is, but I'm just going to do it because it gives me an alternative. It gives me something different to try. So I'm just going to do it because I really have nothing to lose at this point. My mom, like I said, super supporter. She charged my sign up so that I could get my DVD challenge pack with 21 Day Fix. And I signed immediately as a coach, having no idea. I just knew that if I just posted myself working out, apparently I was going to make all this money. So I was like, okay, like it would help pay for my divorce. And so the kit came. Loved Shakeology. Took me a few tries to kind of find like my blend kind of a thing. But my mom immediately signed as a coach under me because she's like, I'll use the discount to do Shakeology with you. And I had the DVDs, and I was living with her, so obviously she shouldn't have to do anything with that. So she's like, okay, I'll try it with you. Well, after losing almost 20 pounds, and I'm trying to think, it was like 16 pounds and 23 inches, I think it was, in 21 days, I was like, okay, I get it. And while doing that, I had just asked a couple of friends, hey, do you want to do it with me? I had no idea about what challenge groups were. I had no idea how to run them. I had never been like I said, I had never been in my uplines. I had no idea what I was doing. I just was like grabbing some friends. I'm like, we'll make a little private Facebook group. And you guys tell me, like, let's post our workouts and we'll post what we're eating and then tell me some ideas to make it fun. And we'll do those things. And so that's what we did. How I run my groups and how I've evolved literally has came from feedback from my clients and from friends and from families. And, but in the beginning, I was so clueless. I had no idea what I was doing. And my upline, I love her to death. Anita's amazing, but she was going through mental health stuff. She was mourning the loss of a child because she lost her first, there was a huge gap, like how I had with Arya. There was a huge gap. Well, not as big of a gap, but there was a huge gap. Scarlett was about 5 years old and she got pregnant. She lost the baby at 32 weeks. So there was just a lot that she was coping with in that first year of coaching that I did. So I didn't really depend on her. I used the resources in the back office. I went on YouTube and I looked up top Beachbody coaches and I watched their trainings, and Anita had a channel. So I watched all her recordings that she had on YouTube. And I Googled a lot. I Googled a lot. I looked in the back office a lot, and I watched other coaches that I knew of. I watched their stuff. So I self-taught because I knew that this was going to give me an opportunity to work on myself, help others work on themselves, because it had given me hope. I never thought in a million years I'd be able to stay home with my kids. I never thought in a million years I'd be able to go out of country on a vacation. I never thought in a million years that I'd be able to lose baby weight, because I have some Italian Greek genes. And let me tell you, it is not an easy thing to do to lose weight. It takes about 5 minutes to put on 5 pounds and about 5 years to lose 5 pounds with my metabolism. So the fact that the results that I got, I didn't feel deprived. In fact, every 3 weeks, because I did multiple rounds, I ended up losing all 50 pounds and like 40 inches or something. I had abs and everything my first year of coaching. And I had Taco Bell still occasionally. Every 3 weeks in that first like 6 months, every time I finished a round of 21 Day Fix, I had ice cream and Taco Bell. And then I had an off week where like I still worked out, but I didn't really like count containers as serious. And then I would just for 21 days be super serious, follow the program, continue my results and progress. And then I had like an off week where I was just kind of like, I'll go have like a meal, from a restaurant that I really want. And the fact that I could lose all my baby weight in that first year, when in the first almost 4 years of Arya's life, I couldn't freaking lose weight for the life of me. I was going to the gym. When I would go to the gym, I'd spend like 2 to 3 hours there, because since my mom was watching Arya, I had to make it worth it, right? So I thought I was eating healthy. I had researched this whole clean eating concept back when I was living in Vegas. This was pre-kids. I was teaching out in Las Vegas, and I had injured my back really bad, and I put on weight because I couldn't cook. I was like bedridden for like a month, and all my friends were just bringing me fast food every day, which is a super sweet gesture. But pizza and Burger King and Taco Bell and you name it, every day for a month put on like 30 pounds. So, because I'm not joking, I put on weight super fast. So I had to lose weight. So I looked at, once I started feeling better and healing, I looked up clean eating, and I lost it. It took me a year, but I did lose it. So I thought I knew healthy. I thought I knew what I was doing after I had Arya, but I could not make it work. And then all I did was literally follow the nutrition as laid out. And I planned and I prepped and I followed it and I did the workouts, and I just did this 21 days. And the fact that I got better results than I had in 4 years, I was like, I don't need to, I'm not selling anything. I was literally just sharing with people, this is what I'm following. And I started getting asked questions, and people were intrigued. They were supporting me. So all those supportive people, how could I not share that with them? It wasn't about me selling them a program. It wasn't about me making money off of them buying a product. It was the fact that this literally allowed me to lose weight that I could not ever lose before. It wasn't asking me, because I tried everything in my 20s, Hydroxycut, those Ally pills that gave you the runs really bad, South Beach, Adkins, you name it, I have done it. And my mom did it with me, and it was a yo-yo city for 10 years of my life. And I was tired of it, and I just always felt crappy. And but the fact that this worked, it's like buying a shampoo and it making your hair so unbelievably amazing looking that you have to tell all of your friends and family, look how amazing my hair looks. Or this toothpaste that makes your teeth so white, oh my God, you got to go to Target and buy this. It was no different than sharing anything else that I loved. I go to Starbucks and I rave about the freaking pink drink that me and Arya love, and I get 10 people asking me what it is and want to go to Starbucks and get it. So why wouldn't I? I had to share it. And so I've screamed it from the rooftop how passionate I am about their programs from the moment that I started. As far as coaching goes, I went from knowing nothing, never even hearing of Beachbody, let alone Team Beachbody, let alone any kind of coaching, to learning from the tools that were provided. I didn't need anybody telling me what to do. Anita said, this is where the resources are. You want to hit Success Club. This is the goals. This was all after I signed up, because I could teach you guys a million things about what we do, but it's kind of mean. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste your time. Your time's precious, right? I just wanted to share who we are, what this has done for us, what it could do for you, and then hear a little bit about things that you're wondering. So I will progress. But through the last 5.5 years, trial and error, things started to not work. I switched up what I was doing. Those things started not to work. I switched up what I was doing. And that's exactly what Beachbody did. We lost a lot of coaches back in 2017 when Beachbody decided to stop not selling because they had inventory, but to stop producing DVDs and put more of their time and resources into building a digital platform. A lot of people left because they were afraid of change. Change is scary. The unknown is scary. But it was the best thing that I think they could have ever done. My first year coaching, by buying new programs, because after doing 21 Day Fix 4 or 5 times, I was like, okay, I need size now. Then after doing size a couple of times, I was like, okay, I need hammer and chisel now. And so I would buy all these programs. My first year of coaching, I spent over $500 because I was constantly buying DVDs. Once this platform came out, all I do, I buy my Shakeology every month, which is a no-brainer because I hate synthetic vitamins. I hate them. I can never remember to go pop a pill. I don't take birth control because I can't remember to take it. I would screw it up and I'd get pregnant anyway. So what's the point? I'm just really bad with needing to remember those things. But Shakeology is a part of my nutrition plan. It's part of what I eat. It's part of my food. So I have it every day so I don't forget it. So I'm getting those multivitamins. I'm getting my probiotics, all these things that I used to try to remember to take every day. I'm getting those now in a meal. My grocery bill is probably 60 to 70 bucks a week. People are like, how do you only spend 60 to $70 a week? Well, because I follow a nutrition plan. I don't go to the store saying this looks good, this looks good, this looks good. I write down what I'm having for the week. I know exactly what all of my meals to cook dinner is going to take. I know what I need for lunches. I'm super easy, you guys. I repeat things. So it's just me and the girls right now. So I make a meal, the next day is leftovers. I make a meal, the next day is leftovers. So I stretch, and then Shakeology every single day, that's breakfast. So I only need, it's all budgeted in. It's just, I'm paying for it in advance. It's an investment for the last 5.5 years, other than when I was going through first trimester nausea and sickness. Other than that, I have not been sick in 5.5 years. Arya, other than after Christmas, pretty sure she had the coronavirus before the coronavirus was a thing. Other than that, since I started, she hasn't been sick because she was drinking Shakeology with me. She wanted it. Mommy was doing it, so she had to do it. I just wasn't giving her full servings. And then Daily Sunshine came out. They're constantly in being innovative and coming out with new products every year, beach bars and bevy and all these things to help people stay on track with their health and fitness without having to take things that are synthetic and unknown to our body, and things that end up just making us feel sick and exhausted without even knowing it. A lot of protein shakes out there have chemicals in them, which actually weigh us down and give us less energy. So the fact that I'm utilizing highest quality, I'm budgeting it in for the whole month ahead of time. So it's making my grocery bills cheaper. And same with following the nutrition plan. I save money every year because I am serious about the lifestyle. It's not, this is going to be a quick fix. It's not, oh, life obstacle happened. My husband just was taken away to jail in October, and now I need a lawyer. And so now I need to stop working my coaching business because I have to deal with this. This is something that literally it's a part of me. It's who I am. And didn't start that way. So I love that this opportunity gave me purpose outside of being a mom and a wife, because we can get so caught up in those things, making our lives wrap around and revolve around our family, our kids. Like, it's so easy to do that. But this gives me something that completely fills my cup, even if I didn't make a single dime off of it. Just like going to Starbucks, I spend money on pink drinks. One day I'll figure out how to make a healthier, better version of the pink drink. I will give that feedback to Beachbody. Beachbody, figure out the pink drink and make it. So the whole point to this is, I don't want anybody thinking that they can't do this because they can't sell anything, because that's not what this is. It's giving you what this started to me was, I needed to lose weight. I needed to find something that I could do as a side gig around my daughter's schedule, around being a teacher, around going to school, because I was doing all of those things. I didn't want to miss any more time with Arya. So I didn't want to have a waitressing job on the weekends or midnights. I needed something I could do from home. So it gave me that opportunity, and also a community, because like I said, I'm introverted. So I didn't really I don't go out much, right? So having my workouts with my community in the morning, and team calls, and getting to do these bonding things, like, it all over the years has just filled my cup so much that I need to pay it forward now. So I love training other women, mentoring other women in this opportunity, so that they can not only help themselves, not only work on themselves and have something for themselves, but be able to do the same thing and pay it forward and help others too. Obesity is a real thing in America. America is probably, I think, one of the top unhealthiest countries. And so to be able to be a part of that mission to help change that, like, that is just something that I'm very proud of. And so I share it in hopes that we can find others who feel that same passion and want that same purpose. That is what I have. So I'm going to stop talking for a minute, and I'm just going to have some of the girls talk about why they signed up and what it's meant for them. And then we'll take questions, and then that's it, just because I don't want to keep you guys all night long. So I'm going to mute myself, and I'm just going to start with Nikki, because Nikki has actually been a part of my team the longest. She signed up in 2016.
Okay. Hello. So, like Candace said, I started in 2016. I actually started, Candace used to run free groups like every month, kind of like an introductory of like how to eat clean. And it just happened to show up on my timeline when I was ready to start eating clean. So I was like, ooh. And we went to high school together, but we weren't friends. We were just like acquaintances, kind of like, you know, of them, but you don't really hang out. So I did like, I think 3 clean eating groups. And then she was like, okay, listen, like, you're losing weight just doing the 5-day, 7-day clean eating group. Imagine if you did it like 30 days. And so I said, okay. So I did. And at that time it was DVDs. So I got 21 Day Fix. It came with the meal portion, you know, like the containers, which my whole family used. I still use them. I love them. And I just started. And I kind of started slow, like kind of working just on myself, getting my footing, you know, my fitness and my clean eating down. And then I kind of started reaching out. Like, people were asking me, like, what are you doing? Because I would like post clips of me working out or post clips of me drinking a shake. And they're like, what are you doing? And so I would share it. And slowly, my friends and some family started joining me. And I met like awesome people through it. So I didn't really have many friends. I only had a few, maybe like 2 or 3. I was one of those girls that like didn't think I was gonna have girlfriends. Like I was never like a cliquey person. So I kind of just kept to myself. This has changed everything. I have so many friends, like legit friends, not like fake friends, legit friends that have been there for me through some of the hardest times of my life. And they never give up, they never leave me, they're always there. And even if you fall or you like waver, they're like, get back up. Like you have someone in your corner constantly. That's what I love about it. That's why I do it. That's why I'm here, is because of the connection, the community, the bonding, my family. Like they're legit family. So I just love them.
Thank you. And we love you too. Amongst the team, we've been, all of us, life throws you some lemons sometimes. And so it's really nice to have a group that isn't like, well, it's okay to stay knocked down. Like you just stay in your hole, you're fine. It's really nice to have people be like, come on, you're strong. Let's do, like, get back up. Come on, shake it off. It sucks. It's hard. Cry it out. And then let's keep going. Let's keep pushing. Like, what do you need me to do? You want to hop on a Zoom? You want to work out together? What do you need? You need some PD? You need a book? Here, I'll send you a book. So thank you, Nikki, for sharing. I am going to now pass it on to Jessica. Wait a minute. Jessica and Heather basically signed up around the same time. So I'll just start off with Jessica. Jessica and I actually connected off of Instagram first.
Yeah. Hi, how are you guys doing? I'm Jess. So a little bit about me. I signed up initially with Team Beachbody in 2014. And at this point, I was like ready to get back on my fitness. I had taken a step away from dance and fitness for so long because of disordered eating habits and just trying to find a healthy starting point for myself. So I was like, why not? Signed up, and then the worst thing happened. My coach ended up going MIA. Like I hadn't heard from her, and I was just like, okay, I don't know what to do with this product. I both out of paddle. And so, of course, that being the situation, I ended up not being consistent with my portions, with my shake. I don't even think I press play on one workout. So fast forward to this past year. My dad passed away in March, and I was lost. I said to myself, I was like, I can sit here and wallow and drink away the sadness. And somehow this angel ended up finding me. I added her because that's what I do. I'm just like, I don't question, I just add. And I started seeing her consistently through my feed. And I was like, wow, this woman's amazing. And at this point, I've gone through isogenics, hydroxycut, quick fixes out the wazoo. I've done them all. And I was like, well, what can this do? So she ended up reaching out to me a couple times, and I shrugged it off. I was like, sorry, don't think this is for me. I tried it before, and I don't know. I don't really have the money. I'm a student, and I'm still trying to figure out things financially on my own. Now, parallel to this, I was just trying to figure out life. I fell off from school. I'm not traditionally educated. Like I took 4 years from school to figure these things out. And in that time, I became a yes person. I yesed everybody until everybody was pleased but myself. And I continue to watch her because she's amazing. She's inspirational. And one day she messaged me and I said, you know what? fine. If you can assure me that you're going to be there for me, if you're going to hold my hand, like get me to do this, like I will do it. And so push came to shove, I ended up signing up. And a couple of months later, she was like, why don't you sign up as a coach? And I was like, what does that mean? I mean, I don't know. Like, what do I do? And here we are today. And I have this amazing tribe of women who are like-minded and who encourage me every day to push harder and show up. Like on the hard days, I suffer from anxiety and depression. So the days that I want to curl up in a bowl and just lay underneath my weighted blanket and not talk to anybody. My girl Nikki has shown up for me multiple times. Heather has shown up for me. Candace, like the list goes on and on and on. And like it literally took me out of such a dark place in which I don't think without this team I would have been here. So I'm thankful for them. I'm thankful for this journey. And I'm finally in a place that I feel comfortable with my fitness, with my nutrition, and I'm even getting better with speaking to people, which like as an extrovert, I'm the opposite of Candace. I'm an extrovert. It seems weird, but I do not like rejection. And that is probably one of my biggest fears. And so being a coach, we face rejection every day. You know, people will say no, people say yes, but it's no for now, not no forever, always. So that's something I'm getting used to learning, and that's what this opportunity has provided me with, and I'm so thankful for it.
Thank you, Jess. And let me just say, I need to give Jess an accolade here. So her and Heather around this, like I had said, they had signed up around the same time. When you get started, there's a 6-month beginning I don't want to say, I keep wanting to say section, but that doesn't even make sense. Period. There we go. 6 months period where you're considered a brand new coach. And in those 6 months, if 3 of them, you're able to sign 3 or more people with a challenge pack to get started with, you earn, it's called something called success starters. What that does is it's the kind of like a first benchmark, a first little mark, and rewards opportunity for you get a free ticket to Coach Summit, which is our annual convention. This year it's set to be in St. Louis if they have it, but I have a strong feeling due to COVID, they're going to cancel again and do it virtual. But for sure, those that get started this year and earn it this year, their ticket would probably be for next year anyway, next year's. So that's good. But, and I'm sure with the vaccine I'm pretty positive about next year. This year, I'm still like 50-50. I don't know what they're going to do. But you have the opportunity to earn that. And you have the opportunity when you hit Success Starters to be in a test group, like an official test group. So before a program comes even to pre-launch. So for those that are familiar with Beachbody, when they launch a new program, they go through like a pre-launch section where it's like early access, and you can like pay a upgrade fee to get the program early before it launches into the library for all of the BOD users. The test group, the official test group, it happens before that. So when you see me posting like before and afters from test groups, and it has like the official logo on it and stuff like that, like that's what Jess gets to be a part of for Shanti's new dance program that's coming out in spring. So she earned that, and then her ticket to Summit this year. I'm hoping that we have it. If not, though, I'm sure once we have an in-person one, they're probably going to honor all of the Success Club starters, just like the Success Club. Success Club is our rewards program, which again, you'll learn when you get started. But there's a yearly trip that if you are hitting and earning points and you're one of the top earners, you're invited to go to the annual trip. And I've gone every year. And but it's been canceled last year and this year due to COVID. But they have this year they gave us the opportunity where we cut, because I earned it. You have the opportunity to earn it for free. So they invite you based off of if you're consistently hitting the goal of 3 to 5 people a month. And so they invite from that, but then all year for the next years, you have the opportunity through earning points to actually pay off. So this is not the same thing as commission, but every point you earn, success point you earn, it equates to a dollar amount. And so you could have your whole trip paid off. And so I've had mine paid off every single year. So, and they're amazing. They are definitely, it's all inclusive. And so I've missed them last year and this year due to COVID, but it's okay. They've been really great about it. And next year it's supposed to be in Punta Cana again. And so I'm really, really hoping this stuff gets worked out. But I would love to have some girls go to Punta Cana with me. So that's why I'm like, we need to have these webinars early so we can get a big group going, crush some goals, and all earn a trip together. But she is one of them. And then welcome, Jill. I see Jill's on the phone. I will make sure Jill is yours, correct, Heather?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It said that her phone left, so I'm not 100% sure she's still there.
Okay. Well, if she is, just make sure you send her the recording of this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But Heather is my other success starter. So Heather also, along with Jess, earned her free ticket and earned the opportunity to be in Shanti's new dance program test group before it goes into the pre-launch phase. So that's really, really, really exciting. So Heather's going to share a little bit of her story and stuff, and then we should have a little over 10 minutes to do questions.
Thanks, Candace. So yes, I did earn success starters with Jessica. We're both very excited about Shanti's program, Let's Get Up. Getting to be in that test group is intimidating for me because I'm not a dancer. I can tell you that from the get-go, like choreography is not my strong suit at all. So this is going to be fun. But I actually was introduced to Beachbody in 2017 by a coworker. And, you know, we were working together, we were eating lunch together, we were eating breakfast together, we were constantly spending time in each other's space. And she was like, hey, I'm doing this, you should try it. And I did 42 days of Beachbody. I know because I did Shift Shop was my first program, and I did 21 Day Fix, my second program. And then I worked for an event production company, and we had a huge festival on Labor Day weekend. And my programs actually ended like the Monday or Tuesday before Labor Day. And then Labor Day hit and school started, and I never touched my Beachbody stuff again. But when I say I thought about my Shakeology and I thought about my Beachbody On Demand every single day for 3 years, I'm not exaggerating. I got contacted by Candace actually while I was doing Beachbody with my friend at work. And I was like, you know, she's doing it, so I'm going to watch her, like whatever. But I was not really in the mindset to push myself to coach back in 2017. I wasn't even in the mindset to continue to work out. So who's going to buy anything from me? Right? Because I'm not doing it. But I've watched Candace since then. And in March, when the world shut down, I had my tax return in my bank account, and my boyfriend and I were driving home from Monroe, and I was like, you know what? It's time. I'm going to spend my money. I'm going to invest in myself. We're going to be at home and we're going to have nothing but time to do things. I am going to start this journey again. So my first day as a coach was March 15th, I believe. I started on Monday the 17th with like, hey, I'm going to work out. I'm going to do some physical activity, 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. I was not even paying attention to the nutrition. I was like, I'm just going to move my body. So here we are, 44 weeks later. I have worked out 5 days a week minimum, except for the week that I had COVID. Other than that, I have been super consistent with my workouts. And I have shared my journey every day. I'm sure there are people on my feed who have unfollowed me because they just don't want to see my sweaty selfies every morning. But, you know, it's not for them. What can I say? But coaching specifically is my gig, because if I didn't have to show up for other people, I would not show up for me. And that's me. I'm a fixer. If somebody's 6 blocks away sighs, I want to know why and I want to make it better. I work in an office with 6 people, and I swear to you, if I feel like anybody is having any kind of a struggle, I'm up out of my chair going to fix their problem. Granted, that could be a weakness, but I feel like it lends to my ability to help people in this business specifically. I should have stayed in school and gotten my teaching degree. I didn't. I'm an accountant. Accountants don't really help people. They kind of tell you what's wrong. Like, hey, your finances suck. But teachers help you, right? Teachers are there. They're there to hold your hand. They're there to guide you. They're there to listen. So I find that being a Beachbody coach feeds that part of my soul. I get to breathe life into people who are struggling, who might not believe in themselves, who might not care about themselves. They've put themselves on the back burner. They don't even register on their own radar. And I'm here like, hey, I know you're struggling. What do you need? What can I do for you? Do you need me to call you? Do you need me to wake up in the morning and Zoom you? Then I'm going to tell Nikki. No, I'm just kidding. Nikki is a rock star and she is up with me. I have to get up for work and I have to work out by 6 a.m. And Nikki doesn't have a job, a day job. She's mom. She takes care of her kids. This angel is on Zoom by 5:30 every morning. And if she doesn't see me, she's like, hey, where you at? Good morning, get up. So that's what we do for each other. We lift each other up, we support each other, we bring other people into the fold and give them the tools and the resources and the community and the love and the support that they maybe haven't been giving themselves. And when you do that, when you give somebody what they need, you have no idea what it means. Maybe you do. I mean, you probably have struggled with some stuff or you've given yourself to somebody and seen that benefit. But that's what coaching does for me. It fills my soul. I don't think I can really say anything else about it.
Well, thank
wait,
you.
and wait. And it pays for my supplements. That too.
That's always the bonus perk. That's what we start with. So just to kind of to go over just a few misconception type things, and then also kind of where you go from here type of things. So I already touched on like the whole sales thing. I'm not a salesperson. It's not even about that. It's about sharing your journey. And do you invite to it? Absolutely. This is a network marketing essentially. So instead of, having a paper list of people and picking up the phone, like a lot of companies do to bring in sales. Like my dad, worked for a company, what's it called? Fax machine company, like the big Konica fax printer, whatever, like the multi-person, like the big businesses have them, right? But that's what they did, right? They would call business to business to business to business, saying if they needed it, giving presentations, things like that. And it's funny because my dad's like, I always thought you'd be such a great person on my team. And I'm just like, but I don't want to sell copy machines. That's not my thing. Thanks though. But we're not salespeople. That's not what we do. We're asking somebody, hey, you've been watching my stuff. Are you working on any goals? We make those connections. We, when I add people to my social media and stuff, I'm creating friendships. I don't just follow people to follow people. I'm looking for people who are like me. So I'm on Instagram, mostly growing that now, but I'm looking for other moms. I'm looking for, other women who might be single. I'm not single, I'm married, but I'm living a single life right now because of stuff going on with my husband. So I look for people who I can relate with, because those are the people that I feel are that I'm going to speak to, as far as like, they're going to get me. They're going to want to follow me back. We're going to have a connection. they're going to have the same mindset I do. So it's not like following somebody and them being mean to me. In the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing when I was growing social media. I had like 200 Facebook friends. I didn't have Instagram. I didn't have any of that stuff. So when I was adding people, I'd get snooty remarks like, why are you following me? Or why are you adding me as a friend? And it's like, I'm not allowed to like want to meet other people. I'm a single mom. I don't go to the bar. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to make friends that I can chit chat with and talk to, but I'd get really nasty comments. But going through this, learning the process, I'm looking for people who can relate to me or I can relate with and who are friends. And because then when hopefully they're on my team, it's what you see with Nikki and Jess and Heather. It's genuine friendships because we've developed that. And it's grown instead of, just phony, like, hey, buy this. And then like, you never speak to the person again. I'm just not about that. Now, to say I'm perfect, I am not perfect by any means. I do have a lot of customers. Have some fallen off? Absolutely. So that's another misconception, is this idea of perfection, and that if you can't devote 6 hours to this, then you can't be a coach. And that's just not the case. I grew it with a half hour in the morning, a half hour at night. Because like I said, I was teaching full time. Single mom going through a divorce in grad school. So I broke up when I was working it around that. Now I have an infant. Well, she's not infant anymore. Now I guess she's a toddler because she's starting to walk and she's going around crazy. And so like, I can't go to the bathroom without having the door open. So like, sometimes I'm like, somebody wants to sign up and I'm like, okay, give me a minute. And I'm like, crap, baby Einstein, put you here. Here's the link. Go do this. I'll get back with you at nap time. And like, it's a lot of multitasking, but you get really good at it. I do a lot time where I don't have my phone. I do make sure, where I'm not working it 24/7. I do need it throughout the day. Cause like I said, I break things up in chunks, especially around Jocelyn's nap, but I do have an older daughter too, who I'm virtual teaching. So, I do need to have my phone out more than, let's say, when Jake was home and it was summer and where Jake could take Arya and Jocelyn's napping. So I'm all by myself for like 2 hours and I could do things. And then I never had my phone out. It was like from a certain amount of time, like after school, like 4 o'clock or when he would get home to a certain time, like there'd be like a 3 or 4 hour block where like my phone was nowhere to be found. But at night is my primary work hours because I have kids and, I was married. My husband, he married into this. And some women don't have that luxury of so whenever he would try to use Beachbody against me, like you're working too much or something like that, I'd be like, you married this sucker. But no, we made the schedule work for us. So we would allot time where it would just be me and him. I allot time where it's just me and my kids and things like that. But then in the other times, I put in chunks of business. So you don't need to sit down for 10 hours to be a Beachbody coach and make this work. My first year coaching, like I said, half hour in the morning, half hour at night, plus the time that I allotted to work out. That's it. Lunch break, when I was at work teaching, at lunch break, I didn't socialize. I sat there and I checked into my challenge groups, but that's all I did. So, excuse me. So yeah, so you don't need a lot of time. You don't have to be perfect. I've made a lot of mistakes. It's trial and error. So if something's not working, that's what you have a team for. You brain shoot, you brainstorm, you troubleshoot, you say, this is what I'm doing. Like, how can I make this better? How can I make this better? It's all about just improving and evolving over time. There is personal development where you want to pick a book in an area where you feel like you need some growth in. Right now, I'm a procrastinator. I'm a procrastinator by nature. My mom will tell you, you guys, for real, I've been wearing the same pair of contacts, and this is no joke. I've been wearing the same pair of contacts for almost a year. I don't sleep in them, so they're still functioning, but they're 2-week disposable contacts. And I've procrastinated making an eye appointment so that I can get a new box of contacts. This is like the procrastinator in me. So I will, so my personal development right now is a book called 12 Week year, because it's teaching you not to wait for your goals all the way at the end of the year. You have your year now is 12 weeks. So you have to put in the work and do the things in this period. Then at the end of 12 weeks, you get a fresh start. It's like a new year, right? So if you didn't do your best in that first 12 weeks, now you got a new 12 weeks to do your best. So this book speaks to me. So what I like to do with new coaches is find a personal development that's going to connect to them, because it is an integral part. In the beginning, compound effect has always been my favorite recommendation, because it talks about making small, consistent choices. And in this business, that's all it is. Small, consistent choices. It builds up, it gains momentum. And that's when the most success comes, when just like with your nutrition, just like with fitness, the start and stop, that it gets you nowhere. But the consistency of just small things over time, it builds up. So that's always one of my best, my first that I recommend. But just reaching out to people, sharing on your social media, listening to personal development. Those are just the things that we do on a daily basis. You're given the tools, you're given trainings, everything's given to you. We have weekly calls. The corporate does a call on Mondays through Facebook. And we have a team power hour. And even throughout the week, not the team power hours on Thursdays, team calls are on Mondays. Every other night, when I'm working, I've been hopping on Zoom, and anybody that has questions on the team or just wants to bond or has to work out and needs accountability or whatever, the Zoom's always open. It's an open Zoom, and I give it to my clients and our community page, and I give it to my coaches in our team page, and it's always there for people. So that's the biggest misconception usually that there is that the perfection, the sales, the time issue. And so I wanted to cover all three of those. But other than that, if you feel like this is something that you would want to give a try, which I'm hoping, and I'm cheering on the fact that we get some badasses like yourselves this year, well, you have choices. So there are different package options. So if you have a bod renewal coming up, you can always upgrade to it with a challenge pack and get the coach fee waived. Or there's completion packs for bod members, completion packs. So like, for instance, if you haven't gotten 9-week control freak yet or 30-day breakaway, those are on promo this month. You could get early access to those with product choice, and your coach fee is waived. So there's those options. There's also just getting the coach account for $39. That's also an option. And then you can start training, you can start working your business. And if you sign up some people, you can earn some commission, and then you maybe use that to invest in your Shakeology or your Energize, Recover, whatever products you'd want to try and utilize and see if they work with your nutrition. So we have a few minutes left since we started a little late. I'm going to give a few minutes past. So we have like 7 minutes. I'm going to open it to, I know Jill got back on. I know she's probably going to want to watch the whole thing playback. But Ashley too, if either of you guys have any questions or anything that wasn't answered, anything that fears, hesitations, things like that you want to talk about. Yes, no? Ashley, can I pick on you since you're
Sure.
mine?
Sure.
And can you just share, like, how are you doing with like nutrition and stuff, or fitness? What program are you doing? Are you doing anything?
So I just finished the Morning Meltdown 100.
Yay.
So I'm working on now muscle burns fat.
Okay. Love that one too.
So I'm on the 3rd day. Tomorrow will be the 4th day.
Yay.
I'm pretty good with staying on like a workout program. That's how I kind of got started with Beachbody On Demand. It's just nutrition more so. I don't do the Shakeology or I don't know. I tried to do the containers, and it's just very intimidating to me. So
it can be. I feel like both nutrition programs, they both have learning curves, and because there's so much information, it can be. I know when I started, it was just the 21, it was just called 21 day fix, portion fix. Like it wasn't the ultimate portion fix with all this stuff. And I just remember carrying around that book because it was hard copy, carrying around that book, like at restaurants, like what the hell is this count as? Like, what am I eating? And it got frustrating at times. And sometimes I was like really nervous, like, and then like, I'm like, okay, I didn't make my own dressings. I was kind of in the beginning, like a freak. Like I really wanted to like be spot on, but like, they were like, here's dressings and gave you specific dressing recipes. And I was like, I want some fucking ranch. Like, but I was afraid to eat it. I like thought
I eat ranch and I've lost 30 pounds.
I do not. Listen, I do now too. I told you in the beginning, I was like so at my wit's end that I was like, I need to follow this. So I didn't make any of the recipes, but I found one in like the all natural section, like produce, you know how they do like the cold dressings and stuff. Like those are like the cleaner type of dressings. So I found one that was comparable to one of the recipes. So I bought that and I would use it. And we used to go to Applebee's every week after Arya's gymnastics. I'd pour it in the orange container, right? I'd hide that shit in my purse. I'd like look around and I like dump it on and like I'm like smuggling drugs into a restaurant or something. It was so embarrassing. So I mean, it was super. I felt frustrated at times and intimidating. Now I don't know. Do you have access to Ultimate Portion Fix or To Be Mindset, or do you just have the regular pod?
I just like because before I had my baby, I had done the 80-day obsession, and I just basically like cut out sugar and carbs, and I was able to lose like 40 pounds before. So I'm just kind of trying to do that again. I don't know.
Okay. Well, if you ever want more info.
Yeah, it's there. And honestly, I mean, just so you know, most of the programs on Beachbody On Demand in the program guides have like their meal plans, right? So if you know what your calorie range is, then it tells you how many containers to use.
Yeah.
So I started it all not having watched the videos. I call it Tetris for dieting. I love it.
Tetris for diet. That is great.
I love that. As I said, like I'm also getting familiarized. It was definitely intimidating at first, but if you do ever go back to getting access to either of those nutrition plans, there is the nutrition app, which kind of breaks it down and makes it easier. And they also have recipes there for you to access. So if you kind of just pick three recipes even, because like as Candace says, leftovers for days, like keep rolling them over. Those 3 recipes, they give you the breakdown of what you need, how much you should be eating, and then it's kind of just like, oh, and here's a blue, and here's this. I kind of feel like a magician sometimes when I'm plating my food, because I'm just like,
Yeah, my mom and I, it's so funny. So funny story with 80-day obsession real quick. I know we're out of time, but so when we were doing 80-day obsession, so my mom has lupus. Before she found out that she had lupus, she did 80-day obsession with me. And I always call her a rock star because after she completed 80-day obsession, which she cried through most of the workouts, her body always hurt. I didn't know neither of us knew she had lupus. So we just thought old age, her being dramatic, because I do tend to have dramatic people in my family. So I would just like, push her, not in like a mean way, but I just made her not give up. So she did. Her results were incredible. Anyway, my dad gave up after like the first 3 workouts and just said, I'll just do the nutrition. And of course he's a man. So he lost 30 pounds just following the timed nutrition of 80-day obsession. But after he did that, to this day, like he would sit down to eat things and he'll be like, well, what color is this? Because I always told my mom, I live in colors now. I don't, this is not protein. This is a red.
He'll be like, okay, so how many reds is this and how many blues, and do we need an orange or a yellow?
Yeah. So it's actually quite comical amongst my family now these days. But yeah, I mean, I know a lot of coaches, and that's another thing. is that along the lines of perfection, a lot of people are like, well, I'm not following the nutrition because I need to eat like this because this is what's best for my body. And so they think they can't coach because they're not doing it 100%. I cannot reiterate this enough. Anita is queen of changing how she eats all the time because she has Hashimoto's. She has something with her thyroid. She has like all these things. She gets inflammation like none other. So she's done 2B. She's done ultimate portion fix. She's done keto. She's done no carb. She's done low carb. She like constantly is experimenting to figure out like, how can I not be inflamed so much? And so she's been to doctors and things. So she now knows the recipe after all this time. I mean, this was all over. She's been a coach now for 8 years. So she now knows the recipe for what's best for her body. So as long as you're getting results and you're happy with how you're eating, like you don't feel deprived, you're not tired all the time, like as long as you feel good, then there is no right, like there's no right or wrong way. Like it's what works best for you. So
yeah, like seriously, when I got home tonight from work, I had to eat 2 reds, a green, a purple, a yellow, a blue, and an orange. I had to eat so much food and I was like shoving it in. Chad was like, you're choking that down. I was like, I have to get all my calories.
So yeah, like some people, it's a trial and error thing because some people eat too less, some people eat too much, some people like their bodies don't adapt well with bananas, some don't adapt well with this type of bread. So it's a lot of trial and error. And so there's just I never want that time or anything else to ever be a reason why. If it's because it just doesn't interest you or it's, I don't know, you don't feel like it's a good fit, that's one thing. And that's for anybody. I've had coaches that I just thought had like the best potential to like surpass me in rank and just be like super, super awesome. And it just didn't connect with them anymore. And they ended up quitting. I never take anything to heart. I want people to be happy. I want people to be successful in whatever that looks like to you. I don't push my goals onto anybody else. I just help mentor them and help them see what's possible and what I know they're capable of and that I believe in them and help them get there. So a lot of people sign just because they're like, I want the discount because I do want to try, and see if Energize helps me push harder or if this is going to help me curb my sweet tooth or whatever with all the different products or beach bars because they're delicious and taste like candy. I don't know. So, Heather, when she signed at first, she was like, if I can just make a little something for covering Shakeology. I was like, oh, girlfriend, I got you. We can do that easy peasy. And now here she is about to be in Shanti's test group. So that's how that goes. Because again, there's so much flexibility in this. 1 minute you can say, I just want to try it and use the discount. And then all of a sudden you're showing up on your page and sharing it and it just feels right to you and feels good. And you're signing people up and you're like, okay, well, never mind. I want to be a freaking 6-figure earner and I want to take this bitch to the top. I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, people change their minds all the time. So, again.
Hey, Jill, do you have any questions? I know you're muted. I just want to make sure if you have any specific questions.
Sorry, I blab. That's okay. I get hyped up. I have 2 small minions.
I must say that's called no adult contact.
Is Jill there? Here, I'll ask to unmute.
She's there.
Maybe she's driving.
No, she just said she was muted so that none of her background noises came through.
But she's unmuted now.
Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
There she is.
Okay. I'm not one to be on camera.
Of course, and my phone is going to glitch on me.
Via video. I got in probably halfway through. So far what I've heard sounds really good. I think my only issue is trying to find time to do this because, I am a mommy of 4, a single mommy of 4, very recently single, thank God. And
preach, girl, preach. I'm right there with you. I've been there.
I do go to college. I do that online. Thank you, COVID. I do work and I'm in the process of going back as an officer. So, So my only thing is trying to find the time to be able to do this because, you know, with the work schedule I got, if I get hired on, it's going to be midnight, which is going to be a little complicated because then once I get home, I got to be mommy and then college and then all over again. So I think that's my only issue. Another thing is the eating. I completely understand, but my thing is I eat too little because I am scared to death I'm going to get big. I'm going to put on weight because I have no thyroid and I have PCOS. So I have all these issues and I'm terrified that if I eat something, I'm going to blow up like a balloon. And another thing is the inflammation. I do have a sensitive stomach. Gluten tears me up. I don't know why. But so I've tried to like take out bread. I've tried to cut out like just anything that has to do with wheat because that'll do it too. And it's miserable. I'm literally like, I work out almost every single day. I will do a workout. I like to lift weights. That's my big thing. I want to bulk, but you can't really bulk if you're not eating right. So, I mean, so that's my only issue. Those are my only issues is the time and learning how to eat right.
So
and I have to get past that here.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it. I thought you were.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. No, you're
so
good.
I just, if I can speak on those real quick, and then I'm sure Heather can speak on it too in private. But you missed my story. So I started 5.5 years ago with my daughter. I didn't have four kids. More power to you. My two are, I don't know how people do 4 and 5 and 6. You're like super mom to me. But I started as a single mom going through a divorce with my one. I also was in school too. I was a teacher. I was in grad school. I had to physically go and I had online. I had both aspects. And then I was single mom. My husband did not have, he was supposed to get, he's not X of the year for sure. He's not dad of the year. So he was never consistent on getting her how he was supposed to. So I was basically primary. And then I had teaching, which is never, I had papers to grade at night, lesson plans to make, right? So it didn't just stop at the 8-hour shift. It was, at home too. And then I had grad school. So I can resonate with that. And I kind of talked about a little bit how there is no one size fits all with the schedule, that you don't need to put in multiple hours of work to grow this. The only time that first year before I quit teaching and stopped grad school, because that was just a personal choice. I was making enough to where I was able to afford to do that. And I wanted to because I was tired of not seeing my daughter and spending time with her. And I saw the potential in this business. And at the time, I wasn't remarried and I didn't have my second daughter. So I thought, I would be sole provider forever. And I wanted to do big things and give my daughter a life that I didn't. My parents always took care of me. I was very, very blessed in that manner. But I had never been out of the country. I didn't see the world. I didn't there were these visions that my parents did, but I didn't. They couldn't afford to take me on things like that. So these are all things and goals and visions of mine that I wanted to do for my daughter, in which I have been able to do. She's been on a cruise. She's been scuba diving. And for me, that's huge because my first cruise was her first cruise. And Beachbody paid for it all. Well, except for the beverage package, unfortunately. They weren't paying for that. But yeah, that first year, it was really hard. I'm not going to lie. I woke up early so that I could get my workout in and I could post on social media and I could post in my challenge group. That's all I did in the morning. And then I got ready for work. And then I was teacher. On my prep hour, I would just kind of look at my messages to see if there was anything urgent. If there wasn't, cool, I could do teaching stuff. Most of my prep hours were IEP meetings, so that sucked. I kind of missed out on a lot of opportunity to do Beachbody in that moment, but I did a few times. I won't, withhold that information. On lunch, I didn't socialize with people. I kept to myself and I worked Beachbody. I did a little bit of my checklist. They give you like a business tracker that helps guide you of what you need to do for the day. And then I was after school, I was mommy until 8 o'clock at night. I had a very rigid bedtime with Arya. She was in her bed. I don't care if she was sleeping, but she was in her bed at 8 o'clock and she was to just sit there quietly. She likes meditation music. So I would put that on and she would listen to it and kind of just like meditate and fall asleep. And I was in my room. I graded papers for an hour and then I did another 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how much grading I did that night. Or if my mom helped me grade, it went way faster and then I could do a little bit more time with Beachbody. But at most there was an hour at night, at most. Usually it was about 30 minutes. It was just very focused. If you really want to give this a go and try, I would say it's not about finding time. It's about making time and making it focused, because I could spend an hour writing one message to somebody, inviting them, or I can take 5 minutes and literally invite 5 people. It's little things consistently. You don't need to invite 100 people a day to this opportunity. If you start by inviting like 3 people every day, and then if you get really good with that and you can schedule in more time, 3 more people. So like 6 people a day. So it isn't an all or nothing. If there's one day where it's like, if I don't go to bed right now, I'm getting like maybe 4 hours of sleep and you have to choose sleep. And then the next day, try to invite some people. So it's not an all or nothing. It's not a one size fits all. We make it work with what we're given. And
can I just say, nobody's going to fire you?
Yes. You don't have a boss firing you. Nope. If you want to push, there's always push group opportunities. But nobody's ever going to tell you that you're doing anything wrong. As far as like, you need to be doing this, Joe. You didn't do your work today. Unless you're in a push group, then somebody might be like, no excuses, get it done. You're in a push group. And then as far as the nutrition, my upline, I just said, she goes through the ringer she has Hashimoto's and stuff. She's been coaching for 8 years. She's a multi-million-dollar earner and she still doesn't fully understand her nutrition because of her thyroid and things like that. So nutrition, it's great if you can follow a program's nutrition, but if you can't, it's not going to make you any less of a coach. It's not going to be the end all of end all. With that said, from the feedback that you gave, I would look into 2B mindset. I think 2B mindset might be something that to just give a try to see.
But let me say this about Ultimate Portion Fix though, because I'm a super picky eater and I have issues with bread too. What I love about the container system is that they give you the food list of what you can eat in the container, right? So you can say, well, I'll eat this and this and this and this.
Right.
And it goes in the container. Then I know I'll eat yogurt. I'll eat cottage cheese. I'll eat turkey. I'll eat chicken. There's my proteins, right?
Right.
Like it gives you those steps. And then it's just up to you how you mix them into a meal. I very rarely make like a recipe of something. I swear when I say it's Tetris, it's the Tetris. These 4 and these 2, and that's what I eat. So the customizable part of it is what I love, is that, maybe I don't eat quinoa, so I'm not ever putting quinoa in my container, but
right.
It's just, it gives you those options. So I think for me, like, when I was in college, I went to a nutrition class and I did, fitness education and all this stuff. So I know, right. For the first 13 weeks of working out, I was eating too little and I did not lose a single pound.
Until I yelled at her.
13 weeks.
Until I yelled at her and said,
yep.
Hey, Heather, are you following a nutrition plan at all?
Yep. Then I started, No. And
She's
so
like,
I
"No, I'm
started
not."
the containers
I'm like-
and 30 pounds gone.
I'm like, can you just like humor me and just follow it for a week and see what happens?
Yeah, just look at it.
Just
Give it a
humor
try.
me. Humor me.
So, yep. Oh, I hate this phone.
But all right, I am gonna stop
Sorry, my
blabbing
AirPods glitch out on me.
since we are over in time. I don't want to take up any more time because I know this has ran a little bit over, but I appreciate you guys getting on. And so Ashley, if you think of any more questions tonight, please message me. I'll check in with you tomorrow, give you some time for all this to kind of just like sink in. But if you think of anything and you don't want to forget it, feel free to message me. And then Jill, same thing. Heather's going to send you the link so you can watch this back. And then if you come up with other questions and things, she'll be more than happy to answer. And anybody watching this on playback from your coach, please make sure you reach out to them, message them with questions. And I appreciate you guys hopping on, and I will see you all later. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Have a good